We're back for some more World Cup action, and in today's episode we'll be finding out if we top the group and who will be playing in the knockout rounds. But before we get into that game against Turkey, let's update you with what's been going on behind the scenes, because we're in late June now. This World Cup adventure could end any day, and we've got to make sure that we are prepared to step back into club management once our time with the Ivory Coast is over. To that end, we've been putting out some speculative applications and plenty of offers have come in. So I've been applying for new jobs as far back as February in the knowledge that I could insert a clause saying that I wouldn't take over until the end of the season, which should coincide with the end of our World Cup with Ivory Coast. The first CV that I sent out was to Marseille. That looked like an interesting job opportunity. Unfortunately, we didn't even get offered an interview there. However, we did get offered an interview by Sporting Club from Portugal. Unfortunately, the interview was unsuccessful, but it gave us hope that we might be able to pitch up at a big club with our next job. We also got offered an interview in La Liga with Sevilla. That would be perfect. That's where we're based with the Ivory Coast now. Unfortunately, they didn't see us as the man to take their club forward. But it's not all been about us applying for jobs. Plenty of clubs have been approaching us as well. 2 clubs from the English Championship in the form of Burnley and Stoke City have both made us an offer. We turned it down. I think we see ourselves in one of Europe's big 5 leagues now, rather than in the second tier. But it was nice to be headhunted. Similar approaches were made by Utrecht in the Dutch Eredivisie and Lask in Austria's top flight as well. But again, we didn't think that either of those were the opportunities for us. However, it's not just been club sides that have been approaching us. National teams have been making us offers as well. Kosovo have offered us their international manager job. So too have Cyprus and the might of Lithuania. All 3 of those European powerhouses see us as the ideal candidate to take their nations forward, given the work that we've done with the Ivory Coast. We are now a manager with a reputation that's still 3.5 stars, but is up to 70% since we qualified for Spain 2030. And I think our next job could be a good one. We've got some interesting clubs that have offered us contracts, maybe not quite at the level of Sevilla or Sporting Club or Marseille, but the one that we've accepted is an incredibly exciting opportunity. We'll update you on who that is in one of our future episodes. But for now, we've got to stay focused on this job with the Ivory Coast. I'd love to take them to a quarter-final. Imagine we took them to a semi-final of a FIFA World Cup. That would be a superb accomplishment. And after how we performed against Ecuador in our first group game, I see no reason to change the shape, the personnel, or the roles of anybody in the team. The only person I think might need nursing through this game is Ibrahim Sangare. He's the only player that picked up a booking in the game against Ecuador, and he's pretty integral to our plans. So hopefully we can try and navigate this game against Turkey without him picking up a second yellow card of the tournament. We are going to persist with Singali Diamande staying on the bench, and instead a player who we've usually been using as a midfielder, Odilon Kasunu, filling in at centre-half. I think central defence is where he plays for his club side, so he should be pretty happy playing that role, even though against Ecuador he wasn't as good as he had been in midfield, and we're also expecting a lot from our front 3 for today's game as well. Traore is fresh from a hat-trick. Diallo grabbed himself a brace in that Ecuador game. Maybe the man that we'd like to see a little more from this afternoon is Datro Fofana. He's got 32 international goals in just 46 appearances. He hit the post with the goal at his mercy in the game against Ecuador. Hopefully, he'll have more luck against Turkey. This is not going to be an easy game. Turkey did draw 1-1 with Ecuador in the first game in the group, but I think they are a much stronger side. Let's introduce you to them in the Scout Report. As we were for our first game against Ecuador, we're back in the southern city of Seville for Game 2 in Group B as we take on Turkey. Turkey qualified for these finals by finishing second behind Germany in their European group, and they will be able to draw on the likes of Porto's Yunus Akgun, experienced centre-back Soyuncu from Leicester City, and Benfica player Berat Özdemir. The man in the dugout will be Portuguese veteran Paulo Sousa, and he'll know that nothing short of victory will see Turkey top the group as Turkey take on the Ivory Coast. So I think Turkey are going to be far stiffer opposition than Ecuador were. In fact, I'm not really sure how Ecuador managed to rescue a point against them in the first game when we were able to beat them 5-1. I think Turkey are much tougher opponents. We've come forward pretty early on in this game. We've got Kessie feeding the ball to Singo, now to Sangari. Their midfield is packing out the edge of their box, and we can't find the breakthrough. If we could get a draw in this game, it's going to be enough for us to come top of the table. And then in the next round, we will be facing a team that's come second in their group, rather than one of the heavyweights that might have topped their group. So a draw minimum is important. Turkey are coming forward for the first time. Nicholas T deals with that one well. What's he going to do with the ball? He bowls it out to Kasunu, who's pausing and having a think before he plays the ball down the right to Singo. He's now getting us moving forward. He's crossing the halfway line. He uses the playmaker Fulgini, who feeds the ball to the other fullback. Naka plays it back to Fulgini again, and he's made his way into the box. We've got a chance through Singo. It's charged down. It wasn't really a great opportunity, but we're coming forward again. Naka may have been offside. The linesman lets it go. He's forced a corner for us. Let's see if we can get one of our big players on the end of this. Fulgini is going to swing it in. He's gone for the near post. Frank Kessie is up. Can't win the header, and Fulgini's having to recover the ball for us. He feeds Kessie once more. We're looking pretty lively. We're not really having very clear efforts on goal. We need to try and force a proper breakthrough. We've got a corner to try and do just that. Fulgini's gone to the near post once more. Sangari, I thought he went with his head. It's hit him on the foot, I think. I think he's volleyed it past the Turkish keeper. That was an unorthodox set play. Fulgini sends it in, and he has. It wasn't a great corner. He side-footed a volley into the top corner of the net, and we've got an early goal against Turkey, but now they've got a corner of their own. They swing it in. They look like they could be dangerous from set plays, and they've got another chance to get the ball into the box. Hamid Traore's worked all the way back, and he's won the ball for us. We've sent it to the halfway line and lost possession again. Turkey are raiding down our left. They've got players over in the box, and they've hit the post from a point-blank header. We have got away with a very, very good chance for Turkey there. So I've dropped to a balanced mentality, and it did just stem the number of highlights that were coming. We're back into another one now. We've got 10 minutes to go until the break, and we've got Sangari on the ball, and now it's Frank Kessie. Traore being a little quiet so far, but he's got the ball to Datra Fofana, a man who could desperately do with a goal. And unfortunately, the Turkish keeper keeps him at bay on that occasion. We scored the last time we had a corner. Fulgini sends another disappointing ball into the box. But at least we are having the highlights now rather than Turkey. If we could just keep this lead until half-time, we can get the boys in and we can refresh. Fulgini is very dangerous from free kicks. He's really tested their keeper there. And we've got one more corner before we hit the half-time interval. Fulgini sends another ball in. This time we get a header at goal. It's gone over, but we have looked threatening from set plays. We've got into half-time with a goals lead. It is a narrow margin. Remember, a draw will be enough. Let's tell the players they're doing well, but we think they need another gear. I think we might need to keep an eye on young Datro Fofana. He has not had a good first half. He was the only one of our front three that didn't score against Ecuador. He had an open goal from which he hit the post, and he's had a miserable time in the first 45 minutes. He might be our first man to make way. We are approaching the 70-minute mark, and both of our front players are playing pretty poorly. I think what we're going to do is we're going to change them both. Datra Fofana's going to come off. Instead, we're going to bring on Jan Karoma, a 31-year-old striker, and Amad Diallo is not faring that much better, so we're going to bring on the pretty dependable Shaka Traore. He's only got finishing of 8, but the rest of his game is pretty good, and as a false 9, he's going to drift away from those defenders and try and find some little pockets of space to play in. We have got another free kick. Fulgini's had a go. This time he's hit the bar. and Mark Gay tried to tackle the player that the ball fell to. Unfortunately, he was unable to win it. And now we've got the ball with Wilfried Singo. That highlight has died out, but we're straight into another one. Turkey have got the ball this time, and they fed it out to the right-hand side of the pitch. They've got men over. They are out to hit the byline and send the ball in. Instead, they've gone back to the edge of the box, and now they've got into the box. And that was another chance that we've just got away with. On 80 minutes, we're going to make our final change. We could take off either of our fullbacks. They both look fairly tired, but Wilfried Singo is at least playing well. We don't really have a good option for Silas Naka. Instead, I think the player that might make way might be in midfield, because Frank Kessie is looking nervous and is running out of energy. So instead, we're going to bring in Seko Fofana, and he's going to take the place as the ball-winning midfielder. We've got 10 minutes to try and navigate. Let's hope that those fresh legs help. There's still plenty of time in this game for Turkey to do something. We have just thrown on a little bit of time wasting to try and help slow down the pace of this game. Naka, even though he is Naka, has still got the energy to burst forward, but he can't get on the end of the ball. He's now out of position. Luckily, Mark Gay bails him out, and we've got the ball on our defensive line. We've fed it back to Mark Gay, and we're slowly building up again. I've also dropped the tempo, which is why our passing might seem a little bit more laborious, but hopefully a little bit more accurate. Naka has found himself on the edge of the box this time, and he has fired an effort that the keeper has saved, tipped it wide. Now Fulgini is going to send in a corner. I might even ask our fullbacks to be a little bit more conservative for the last few minutes of this game, as they are popping up in some very advanced positions. Maybe if we just ask them to be supporting rather than attacking, it might just make us a little bit more compact. We've got, 2 minutes plus injury time to try and see out. Nicholas T's on the ball. We've got 4 minutes of stoppage time. Could we try and grab a second goal to make that a little bit more comfortable? Traore's dropping deep once more. Karoma, the player who's come on as one of the substitutes up front. We've gone all the way back to Kasunu, now all the way back to the goalkeeper. Don't dwell on the ball too much back there. And they've done exactly that. They've given the ball away in midfield, and now Turkey have got a chance. Nicholas T has come up big for us. We've had some doubts about him earlier on in our time in charge of Ivory Coast, but you can't doubt his ability there. He has thrown a leg at it, tipped it wide. We've managed to clear it. Now we've only got 15 seconds to see out, and we could have put the game to bed there. Karama has the chance to score the second goal for us. It's gone wide, but we've managed to get our second win of the tournament. It was close. I don't think we could have argued if Turkey had come away from that game with a draw. Either way, it would have been enough for us to top the group. So the lineup for the last 32 is complete, and we are mighty glad that we did top that group, because whilst runners-up have got to play host Spain, we've got an all-Africa encounter against Guinea-Bissau. We're going to play that game in our next episode. Whilst we prepare for it, why don't you check out this video on the nation that we've just played? Maybe Turkey might be the next destination for your Football Manager adventure. This video is going to be packed with clubs that might just inspire your next save.